841. News Talk, Saga 960 Raw, Mike Richards, here on March the 13th. March, by the way, is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. So we are going to be joined by Alicia Ravenna from Nutrition House here in a couple of seconds. She is just putting her camera on, and she will join us and talk about a couple of products from Bell Lifestyle Products, including colon care and cleanse. And so, as most of you know, of my situation about 7 years ago when I was diagnosed with rectal cancer, this is something that is obviously, it is part of my life. The understanding of what happens down there is the thing that I deal with on literally an hourly basis. So I would say that, and I put out a tweet this morning just about how guys generally sometimes are their worst enemies because they don't get themselves checked. We don't necessarily like what goes on there. We have certain issues. Some of it, quite frankly, is just laziness. We just kind of don't want to do it. Women are much better. Women will look after themselves. They are much more diligent when it comes to their own personal health. And we as men have to be better at it. And look, it almost cost me my life, and it has been in my family. So the fact that I didn't get checked earlier is very irresponsible as far as I'm concerned on how I almost died. You know, when you end up getting stage 3 cancer, you realize how close it was. And I was just, I was not prepared for it. And I was oblivious, which again is my own fault. And if it wasn't for the great work at Sunnybrook and my surgeon, Shadi Ashamala, I wouldn't have been here. All could have been avoided. All could have been avoided by these kinds of conversations. So if you have not been checked and you're in your 50s, for instance, some guys get checked every 3 years. You just heard Clark Judge, longtime guy with CBS Sports, Sports Illustrated. Doesn't matter what you do for a living. It equally will come after anybody. So do yourself a favor, take care of yourself. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's so great that Bell Lifestyles Products is the sponsor of the show and the studio and everything else. Because these are the sort of issues that need to be talked about. And then we get guests like Alicia Ravenna, who deals with people on a regular basis on how to take care of yourself. This is the key. And now we go to her. Good morning, Alicia. How are you doing?
Good morning, Mike. So glad to have you with us.
Yeah.
And I'm doing great. Thank you.
Well, it's, I think we're getting better at talking about it. I mean, you see, you know, there's the PSAs that we have on the air, public service announcements, and things from the Canadian Cancer Society and colorectal agencies across the country, but we still need to be more diligent, because the reality is if you do catch it early enough, it's like 95% success rate. It's in the 90s, like it's very high. So it's something that they can deal with. So we were talking today about colon care, and I'm curious, for those that come and see you at Nutrition House, how often do we is this a topic? How often, or are you the one bringing it up, or did they bring it up? How's this come up?
Well, people are a little bit more open about it now. And yes, the conversation is usually, you know, what can I do to help myself in that area? So constipation is #1 cause of many problems, not only colon cancers and related to your gut, but also it can cause high blood pressure, cholesterol, and everything else. So we want to make sure that we keep our gut healthy. Constipation is one of those things that sometimes people just let it go for a very long time. And when you have a buildup in your colon, you're creating more inflammation and more bacteria just growing in there. So you want to make sure that you are regular and that you eat healthy foods. You avoid eating high fatty foods, dairy, eggs, and fried stuff, because that will cause more of the issues with constipation. A lot of people have constipation because they're dehydrated and they don't even think about it. You have to drink enough water, because if you're dry, then that's another problem. Diet low in fiber is another issue. So make sure that you're eating healthy diet with fiber, not only good for the colon, but it's also good for the heart and everything else. So when issues like this occur and people come and say, well, what can I do? #1 is change your lifestyle, be more active, eat a healthy diet full of fiber and eat your fruits and vegetables. And then you have people that come and say, well, I do all this, but I'm still constipated. So in that case, Bell Lifestyle has a constipation relief number 28. And if someone has been having issues for more than 4 or 5 days and they were not able to empty themselves, I tell them that this is something that you can use. It's a very mild laxative. It's not painful. You're not sitting in the bathroom all day. It's very gentle. So that's for people that have issues and haven't gone for a while. But people that have constipation issues that are happening on daily basis and they're not having any bowel movements, I would suggest something like colon care and cleanse. This is something to maintain after your colon is clean, and you are still having these issues, because it can happen. It's either due to being not moving enough or not drinking enough water. I'm not sure. But the colon care and cleanse is a gentle anti-inflammatory pill. It's number 74 that will help with more regular bowel movement. It's a very good formula. I have tried it myself, and I do follow a healthy diet, but it can happen to anyone. And you have to recognize the symptoms. So if you know the symptoms, don't let them go for too long, because then it gets to be a very big problem.
Well, I think the one thing that we have to get over, and I certainly understand it, is when you talk about those issues of being down there, you're kind of embarrassed about it, right? It's something that we don't necessarily want to talk about. You want to talk about it with your family or even your significant other at times. It's something you sort of hide a little bit. And hiding is a one-way ticket to problems, one way or the other, even if we're not necessarily talking about cancer, we're just talking about the colon health. And so when we start talking about the colon care and cleanse, because you hear a lot of talk about, oh, I'm on a 7-day cleanse. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what people are talking about. I mean, it seems to be thrown around, and I'm not sure if they, because a lot of times it has to do with, talking about weight loss and things to do with how they look. This is not about how you look. This is about how you work.
Exactly. Because your gut and brain are connected. So if your gut is not working, your brain is going to have some issues as well. And then it's also related to your heart health. So anything that's brewing in your gut is directly related to your heart. Cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, all this comes from unhealthy eating and unhealthy bowel movements.
Now, what is in it necessarily when I start looking at the products of number 74 colon care and cleanse? So what makes this work? What are those things in there, and what are those ingredients actually doing?
So amazing ingredients. I really like the ingredients in there, and they're not. They call it cleanse, but it's not a cleanse like the first one we have mentioned, the number 28, the constipation relief. This one is a cleanse that happens, but you don't really. It's not like you are in the bathroom all day. I should say. Yeah. It's more gentle. What it has is it cleanses within. So it has turmeric, curcumin, which is anti-inflammatory, and it really helps with that. It has green tea, which is also a high antioxidant, and it helps with bowel movements. EGCG, it's the form of green tea. Resveratrol is a high antioxidant, and it also supports the bowel movement. Any antioxidant will keep any of these antioxidants that I have mentioned will keep the colon clean, but you will not be sitting in the bathroom all day. It's within.
Right. And I think that's the important distinction, is sometimes, as I said, when you see those words and words like cleanse, it doesn't necessarily translate into the way that people see the word cleanse, because they're thinking of stuff being pushed through, and again, a lot of it has to do with people thinking this is not a conversation about weight loss or looking better. This is about trying to make your body function. And so when you start talking about you know, for instance, number 28, which is constipation relief, and number 74, colon care. I'm guessing number 28 sort of addresses a current bodily situation, where number 74 seems to be like something that you should take for a, you know, a period of time
For a
for your
while.
for your heart. Yes.
Yes, definitely. 28, I would not use on daily basis because it is, you can get used to, your bowels can depend on it if you use it for a long period of time. I would use it in time of a problem, where the colon care and cleanse number 74, it can be used for a while if you do have gut issues. And it will just make you more regular, and also it will make you feel better. I noticed that when I have given it to people, they told me, oh, I feel like I have more energy. I'm not quite sure if this is it, but yes, it is. Because there's all those antioxidants, like I mentioned, there's Veritol, quercetin, and they promote high antioxidants, and turmeric, that's anti-inflammatory. So yes, you will feel better overall. It's a great formula, great ingredients in it.
Now, you'd mentioned water, and that's the one thing I know that in the last couple of years I used to be pretty good with it, and I know I don't have enough. I mean, you know, my wife will say, you're not drinking enough water. I'll say, you know, when I make these fancy cocktails, there's ice in there, and let me tell you something. Ice is water. I know science, unless you're fighting science now. She'd go, okay, that's not what I'm talking about, so start having some water. How much water do we really need on a daily basis to be healthy?
To be healthy, I aim for 6 cups. If you can get to 8, it's perfect, but we have to be reasonable. There are some people that, you know, the people that work out probably will drink more because they get thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing, that if you do get thirsty, it's too late. You're already dehydrated. So make sure that you're drinking throughout the day. 6 to 8 cups would be something that I would aim for.
Yeah, that and it's so important because and we sell it short sometimes, but it is very important. And when we do these sort of Bell Lifestyle Health sort of corners, as I call it from time to time, we're not promoting, you know, a miracle product where you take some pills and you automatically have addressed an issue that you think needs solving. And because number one, this is not pharmaceutical. This is not the, you know, that kind of conversation. These are natural health products. So I want people to understand that. And also, you have to help yourself. This is just taking these on its own doesn't solve the problem. You have to also address, you know, a little bit of exercise never hurts. In fact, that we know it helps. And of course, then there's your nutritional side of it, which I know when they see you at Nutrition House, I've seen yourself, and of course, you know, David Park at Square One. You take time with these people. People just don't go in, you just don't give them a couple of boxes and say, see you later. I know you consult with these people. I mean, that is what really what your job is.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is. And I love it. I love helping people, and I love getting the feedback how these products work. And this is why I am so proud to be representing Bell Lifestyles, because I know their products work. I have tried so many, and I'm very happy with them. And I love that they are Canadian based. Just around the corner from my house, and it's fantastic. I really, really like the company.
Yeah,
and
they're very good at what they do. All the products are, by the way, are 100% guaranteed, which is something they've, you know, that's the confidence they have behind it. It takes years of research before these products even come to being in the box. And once they get to that point, the scrutiny that the government puts them under, I mean, you have to be very diligent on the product. And that's why I love dealing with them. They're great people. So we're thrilled with it. And we get to meet you. So there's that.
Thank you. I just want to mention one more thing before we end, that don't wait for, you know, something to happen. Like keep your diet healthy and reach out to us, and we can help you in any, you know, with any issues that you have regarding your colon or anything else. We can help. You know, when to seek help is when this is when the red light goes off, right?
Yes.
When you have a rectal bleeding, when you have unexplained weight loss, and you have persistent tiredness. This is something that when you experience all that, don't come into Nutrition House. I would suggest go and see your family doctor and get colonoscopy done to get to the bottom of it.
Very, very good advice. Thanks so much for this morning, Alicia. A great topic and what is cancer, colon cancer awareness month, and a great conversation here this morning. You have yourself a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Yes, thank you, Mike. You as well. Take care.
That is Alicia Ravenna from Nutrition House, and we were talking about Bell Lifestyle products this morning in the month where, you know, these conversations do happen. So it was number 28, constipation relief, and then an excellent product, number 74, colon care and cleanse.